Hi, I'm Rob from Press Record. I'm here at the Hi-Fi with Matt from the Bronx. How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing great, man. Glad to be alive.
It's always good to be alive. Welcome back to Brisbane. Welcome back to Australia. How's everything been doing with Groovin' the Moo?
Oh, it's been great, man. It's cool. Groove of the Moo's weird because it's a different festival for us, you know? It's like more of an indie rock, kind of electronic. It's a couple of 90s bands on there and stuff like that. So we're kind of one of the odd bands out, but it's a good spot for us. We're having a great time, and it's cool to play in front of new people.
For sure. So who would be a highlight of that festival?
For me, that's a tough question. I would say we are a highlight of that festival. Tegan and Sarah are great as well. And that's really, oh, you know what? I will say this. I discovered a new band I like. They're called Hungry Kids of Hungry.
Yeah, they're a Brisbane local act.
They're really cool guys. They play right before we play, and I've never heard them or seen them before in my life. And I really like that band, and they're really great dudes.
Yeah, they could pull off some awesome harmonies there, but
yeah, they're really great.
Yeah. Could we expect some harmonies from the Bronx that'd go to the 5-part extent?
Maybe the mariachi, not in the Bronx though.
For sure. And you mentioned Tegan and Sarah before. They've got a knack for collaborating with a lot of acts from different genres. Like they've gone from Against Me to a lot of electronic acts. Would you do a collaboration with Tegan and Sarah?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're awesome. They're super talented, and anytime you get a chance to work with artists that you respect, it's an awesome thing.
Speaking of which, we've got Spitfire Liar just playing in the background here. Yeah. Could you explain your relationship with this band, just because you've had them support pretty much every single time you've come out to Brisbane?
Well, they're just one of those bands. When we come to Australia, we like to have our friends with us, you know, whether it's these guys, Violent Soho, you know, DZ Death Rays are good friends of ours. So, it's just nice to come out and play with people that you like, you know, and it's like Australia is a really cool spot for us, and we like to come out here and see our friends play, you know. So it's kind of a double, it's like a double blessing, because you get an awesome show, but you also get to see your friends' bands play that you really don't get to see too often. So it's cool.
For sure. So off stage, what do you like to do while you're in Australia?
I try to go surf when I can. I'm hoping to get up to Byron tomorrow because a friend of mine said the waves are good. Other than that, we have a lot of friends here, so we get our time in with our friends and go barbecue and hang out. We got a couple local bars we like to go to, and we're pretty comfortable in Australia now. So it's almost like a second home. So we know where to go to relax, and we always try to hit the beach and get our record shopping in and do that whole thing. So we're pretty we got it pretty wired over here.
For sure. Have you been to any record stores recently? Especially with Record Store Day just happening over a fortnight ago.
We just went to, what was that place called today? Kill the Music record store. That was pretty cool. You know, it was like, sometimes we go, we prefer a little bit more of like a wider selection as far as like old music, you know, old 50s rock and roll and stuff like that. But it was a really cool, you know, current record store. They had a lot of good punk and hardcore stuff in there. So it was cool, man. It was nice to see that shop. We've never seen it before, so.
Yeah, wicked. And another thing that American acts like to do, they like to go out to Lone Pine and go see the koalas. Have you done that yourself in recent times?
We've been to the zoo a couple different times, and so I don't know if we're going to hit the zoo this time around. I've seen a koala in the wild once, and that was during the Meredith Festival. Yeah, Ken shit in the woods on the way to the airport.
What did you wipe with?
His t-shirt. Yeah. So that was a little strange, but other than that, we just try to eat a lot of pie face.
Personally, I think that's disgusting, but you gotta take what you can, I guess. You know.
Our tour manager over here, Joe, he calls pie face the Jimmy John's of Australia.
Could you explain what Jimmy John's is for those that don't know?
Jimmy John's is like, what is that, like a third-rate Subway or something?
Yes.
Something like that, yeah. One bread, one cheese. But I like pie face. I'm trying to bring pie face to the States. There's one in New York. I'm going to be the man who brings it to California.
For sure. And every time you release an album or an poster artwork, you know, the artwork is really of a high caliber. Is that something you pursue yourself? Or
Yeah, our guitar player Joby, he does all the artwork for the band. You know, sometimes when we come over here, our friend Reese and different artists do show posters and stuff like that. But for the most part, every record cover and everything that's, got the label Bronx on it, Joby has his hands in. He's got the aesthetic wired, and he's a amazing graphic designer. So we let him handle all that stuff, and he has a blast with it.
yeah, a lot of the posters look very sort of tattoo-esque. Is he influenced by a lot of that, or?
Yes and no. Maybe subliminally. He's not. He's got some of the worst tattoos you'll ever see in your life. He's got like his.
What's the worst?
He's got his initials in flames. That's a pretty good one. But he's got his own style. He's inspired by a whole bunch of different stuff. That he sees on a daily basis. So.
I notice you're not exactly naked in terms of ink. What's your worst tattoo? And then what's your best?
My worst tattoo. I don't know. I mean, this one isn't finished. This is one of the first ones I got. This is a punk TV head guy. He's got a bottle of no-name booze and a middle finger and a banner that was supposed to say TV Casualty, but never quite got done. His shirt says Puke, which is pretty punk.
Yeah.
And he's got a smashed out TV head. So, that's a pretty good one.
It's a very cool design, I must say.
Hey, thanks. My friend Louie did that. He was just learning how to tattoo, and now he's an awesome, badass tattoo artist and that works out of Shamrock in LA. So I was lucky enough to be his practice pad.
Wicked. Would you ever get tattooed in Brisbane?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course. It's there to me. It's all about the artist, and it's all about the moment. I never try to I don't really go out on tours thinking, okay, I'm gonna get tattooed in this town or in this spot. They're always usually pretty, pretty off the cuff, spur of the moment type of things that you want to just create a memory or you just kind of feel like being wild for a little bit. Like we have this one we all got in London, and it's a Viking helmet with a lightning bolt on it with a VS that stands for Viking style. And that was, I think that was like 3 a.m, and we were having drinks with a guy who just so happened to have a tattoo shop, and we just went across the way, and we all got tattoos. That's the best way to do it. I'm not a I'm not even necessarily a big tattoo guy, but I like getting them when they matter and spur of the moment type setups.
Sure. So you pick impulse over actually thinking about it.
I'm definitely an impulse guy, not that much of a thinker.
I'm sure the Bronx shows reflect that. So for anybody on Press Record that has never seen the Bronx before, how would you describe a Bronx show?
It's a moment in time. We try to just go out on stage and let loose, man. I mean, it's like, our entire day revolves around playing a show, so it's all about, letting the energy just constantly build up and going out there and just letting it all out. Punk shows are, very communal. You share music with the audience and you go back and forth with each other because you both love the same thing. So it's very much an explosive act of energy between the band and the crowd.
Rad. And just one last question. What is the most rewarding thing about playing in the Bronx after, 10 years or so?
The most rewarding thing is usually, I mean, in the scale of things, when you look at how big you can become as a band, you don't necessarily get to see the fruits of your labor sometimes when you're in a smaller band. And the most rewarding thing is, at this point in the band, after 10 years of busting our ass and working really hard, we've carved out a little niche for ourselves, and we have something that we're really proud of. And you can finally look back and see where all the hard work is starting to pay off. And we may not have it all, but we're living a life that we're stoked on and that we're proud of. So, it's a very, very amazing thing.
Awesome. Congratulations on the past 10 years. Have an awesome show.
Thank you very much, man.
You're watching Press Record. Thank you.